Hey, good evening. So what I wanted to do was cover was I know you've looked at the chassis that I do and I polish them up. And Tom Edmondson is the one that really knows how to polish stuff up pretty good. And he's, give me some advice on how to do a few things. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, how I polish it up. So say you've soldered everything. I'm going to use these as examples. So say you solder everything and you're ready to, clean it up, make it look nice. So you would get 1200 grit sandpaper, and what you would do is just clean it up. I'm just going to clean this piece as an example. Just get a little cleaning and a little sanding. Whatever little rough spots you may have, or if you do have rough spots. This is just a piece that's a little bit tarnished, and I'm going to clean it. And keep cleaning it like that. I'm just, sanding it down. This is 1200 grit sandpaper now. You see what that looks like? Not bad. So this is where we're gonna polish now. So I have two polishes that I got today. I got the Brasso from Amazon, $3. I said earlier in one of the videos that I used this Flitz or Flitz. Here you say it. This one's actually about $10. So these are two polishes. Metal, plastic, fiberglass. This one does stainless, chrome, aluminum, pewter, bronze, brass. So different things. And I got another piece right here. I'm gonna also sand down and try as well with the two different ones that we have here, and we're gonna try it out to see how it comes out once we get it all a little sand down and stuff. So let's see. 1000 grit will also work as well, but again, I'm using this as a example. That'll be fine. I can be there all day doing it, but you can see I got some tarnishing marks there. So we'll see how that comes out. Again, if you need to use another piece, I guess you could just, if you want to go ahead and do more, do it, go at it. So here's another piece right here. So I have my Dremel set up. This is the vise I bought from Amazon. I made myself a little polishing bench grinder, polishing bench here basically. So these are the wheels from Dremel. They're just little felt wheels. And I'm gonna get the Brasso. Shoot this up. I'm gonna get some Brasso. I'm gonna put a little bit on there, and I'm gonna put it on the piece that I'm gonna polish. So there's no need to. Excuse me. I'm gonna reach and get some of my. Again, old T-shirt will also, if you'd want to sit there and polish it with an old T-shirt, you can do that as well. But I have this, and I figured I'll, do it this way. So I'll apply this on here. I'll even apply it on the other stuff that I didn't even sand down to see how it comes out. And you clean my hands here. What I'm going to do is turn this to setting 2. And I'm going to get this and just polish it like this. Oop, gotta be careful you don't do that. I have it on 2. I have it on 2. So I'm going to do this and just... Basically, you'd be polishing the chassis when you're done. You do it carefully, obviously. You don't catch it anywhere. If you want to go to setting 1, you could go to setting 1 too. When, go a little bit lower. And you see how that's coming out? Not as bright as I thought it would. Just keep polishing out like that. See, you're getting a little shine. I'm beginning to think that the Brasso is not as good as I thought it would, because I think the fits I got a better shine out of. Let me wipe this with a, buff it out with a little bit with a T-shirt. Let me get it. Sorry, I'm off camera here. And that's what you get. Not very great, or not very good to me. So the Brasso is kind of a disappointment. only $3, but let me see if I could buff it a little bit more since I removed the excess. Yeah, not as good as I thought it would be. So brass was a little bit of a disappointment, but I mean, oh well. So now I'm gonna try the flints, and this stuff's a little bit more money. Get a little bit of it and apply it on there. A little dab will do you. This stuff may work a little bit better, I believe, because I used it on the chassis that I had on the videos when I was doing the other stuff to it. You know, all the soldering and stuff. So let's give this a shot. Go low speed. Looks like it's better. You turn this up. That's a lot better actually with the flints. Let me wipe this off real quick. A second, and I'll go over it again. Just get the excess off. That's a little better. Actually, that's a lot better. Let me give it a little shot again. Oh, easy. Wipe it off of a t-shirt. That's a lot better actually. You see my little marks. Again, this is an older piece of brass here, so you can do some more sanding if you want. There's also rouge. You could use red rouge. Red rouge, you put it on the wheel first and then you polish your part. Lower setting, so I'm just going over it again. And again, this is a dirty piece of brass I had lying around, so I mean, may have a little oxidation and may not come out as bright, but you can see it's getting a nice shine there. Probably need to sand it down more. I'm using a lower setting here. Well, not too bad. When you usually solder your chassis, they'll look a lot better than this, obviously, because it's a fresh piece of brass that you're dealing with out of the package. But there's the shine on it. Not too bad. I think if I sand a little bit more, I'd probably get a nicer shine. Let me sand again. Give it a little bit of that on there again. And we'll give it 2 hits, or speed 3 right there, or 2, excuse me. And this will get a little warm, so if it starts getting hot, because you know brass likes to transmit heat pretty nicely. There you go, that's probably the best we're going to get it, but again, for a piece of scrap that was lying around, looks better than what it was. So let's try this one here. I did sand this one down. I'm going to use the Fitz instead because I think that seems to work better than the Brasso. I probably should also clean this wheel, but you know, it needs to be clean. You can use a little wire, small wire brush, which I gotta get. So I'm cleaning this piece, and I think this piece is coming out better because this is a cleaner piece of brass than what I had. That other one's been sitting out a long time, and probably getting oxidized from sitting in the drawer from natural moisture in the air. And this one looks a lot better. There you go, see? Came out pretty nice. That's what you're kind of looking for when you're done polishing. And your chassis will come out a lot nicer than that. That's pretty good. You give it another hit again. It's a little bit better. Not bad. Looks pretty good. Get another piece of t-shirt here. Wipe it down a little. Oh, not bad. There you go. I'm sure it'll look a lot better when you're done with your chassis. Pretty much like that. That's very shiny. You could also use Mother's aluminum wheel polish and mag polish. That's another one that I have right here. This is get a little Mother's, and I think Mother's may work just a little bit better because Mother's is a good product. I've used it on a lot of my automotive stuff. Sometimes I deal with. There goes my paper cover to protect the wall. Oh well, this is just the inside of a closet. I'll just repaint it. So, damn tape doesn't want to hold. And we'll do this. We'll go again. And this is Mother's now, a different one. Yeah, there you go. Mother's not too bad. Mother's does a good job. Clean this off. Sorry, I'm off camera. I know the camera's shaking around. Let me hit that again a little bit more. Just a little final polish. There you go. Not bad. That looks pretty good. Mother's does a pretty good job, so I mean you can get a nice shine out of it. And again, if you don't have this, you could also use a t-shirt, an old t-shirt, and just rub away. You know, it takes a little bit, but if you have a little power tool to help you out, I mean, it doesn't hurt to invest in this little guy here. And you can see right there, it's got a nice shine. So that's just showing you a little buffing for brass. Sorry, I keep moving the camera around. It's just this table I have is just a little flimsy table that I work on. Hopefully I'll improve it someday to something better, and I'll polish this piece up a little bit more. See, it's getting it cleaned up. This will need a sanding, of course, but the end results, that's what you get. Nice, shiny look right there. Kind of a, that's really nice. And makes the chassis looks nice if you're not going to paint it, though. Obviously, I would polish mine if I'm not painting it. You can paint chassis. There's nothing wrong with that. People do paint the chassis, and I will do that one day. Right now, I'm having too much fun with this and polishing brass right now. Maybe on the next two builds, after the next two builds, I'll do one with the paint a chassis. But the painting a chassis is just as good. You do a good paint job, it'll come out nice also. But if you want to polish your brass, I recommend using 1200 grit sandpaper. The Brasso wasn't too impressive. It was inexpensive. I just wanted to try it out. It's $3. I could use that for something else. Mother's is a real good one right here to use. You can see the difference. The Fitz isn't bad also. The Fitz does a good job. but I think Mothers may be most likely the winner in all this, with a little help of the Fitz, of course. But they're both good products if you want to try these two out. Of course, Mothers it's been around for a long time. There's two types. There's the regular Mothers, and then there's a premium one, I think, Ultra Shine one, and they both work good. That's your results you'll get if you wanted to buff out your brass chassis. And when you have the chassis, you can just be careful, when you're buffing it out. Make sure you don't, grab it or snap it. I had a bigger buffer in the shed, and it's actually one that I used to polish my mufflers and my drive shaft on my GTO. And that one's real brutal. When I was building the Ghostbusters car for Harry, I was putting that on there, and I had a bigger flapper wheel. It wasn't the smaller one that's more tight like this, and it grabbed that chassis and flung it, and it ended up bending the motor bracket, and I had to unsolder the motor bracket and put a new one on. I talk about being pissed off about that, and it's one of those things that it happened. So that's nice with brass. The thing about brass, you could unsolder it and then resolder it. It's it's not all is not lost. And there's a way to clean the old solder off as well. And if you run into that and you need to clean the old solder, there is an old trick that Harry taught me. You could use an old braid, which is made out of copper, and use that to clean up your old solder. Or you could buy this, which is called a no clean wick. What you do is you put flux on this, heat it up, and as you're heating it up, you're swiping it with the iron, and it cleans up the solder and smooths it out. So if you have clumps, it'll collect it and kind of smooth it out, so if you need to resolder something. So that's just a couple little tips I wanted to point out on that. If you need to clean up, your old solder and you have a little accident like I did. I wasn't too happy when it happened. A lot of choice words came out of my mouth on my part, being stupid for even trying to attempt it with that type of wheel. But this is really nice to have. Again, you get this from Amazon. It's about $40. And it comes with the wheels and a bunch of little arbors and stuff, and then this is like $18. So you could go about under $50 or maybe $50. You could buy this, set it up, buy yourself some Mothers, and you could polish your chassis. So it's nothing to it, man. It's easy to do. So if you want to get a nice shine like that, that's the way to go. So that's it. Thanks for coming visiting me on this video here that I make for Area 51. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you got something out of this. And thank you, and have fun racing.